This is WeBurlesque.
Hi, this is Pistol Holiday.
Hi, this is Pio Nono.
Hi, my name is Lafrida Loca.
Hi, this is the Sweet Siren.
Hi, I'm Raven Rose, and you're listening to We Burlesque Season 10.
Get right into it. This is WEBurlesque, the podcast, and I'm your host, Viktor Devonne. And through the miracle of fiber optics, I get to talk to nightlife individuals in the field of burlesque, drag, cabaret, and other forms of nightlife. And today is no exception. I have the delightful Chica Cabra on the line. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Glad to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So you describe yourself as a burlesque monster. Is that apt?
That's me. I'm a monster all the time.
When did you know you were a monster first?
Um, I've been into monsters since I was a very, very young child. I think what first got me into it was when I was like 4 or 5, and it's been my favorite movie ever since is Legend
Oh,
with Tim
sure.
Curry.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I grew up on, and that's still my favorite movie. I can probably recite it line for line, to be honest.
I remember, so I saw that when I was very young, and it probably was on TV at the time. I don't because
It
there
totally
were only
was.
there was
Yeah.
only so many VHS tapes that we had in the household. We were a big renting family. We were a big renting family,
Oh,
and I
same.
remember there being so much more Tim Curry in that as a child than when I watched it as an adult.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's there's not enough.
Well, there's two versions. If you
Sure.
like, I had the DVD. I still probably have it, but I think that the disc like cover is falling apart because it's so old. But there's a US and a European version,
Hmm.
and the director's cut is longer, so you get to see more of Tim.
Is there more of him in that
Yeah, there's
versus
scenes.
the other? Okay.
Yeah, because there's scenes that they cut.
So silly.
I know.
It's
Okay.
American audiences. They don't trust American audiences. And I mean they shouldn't probably, but I feel like give it a shot.
Right?
Yeah. And that's just such a fantastical um film of its time, like Princess Bride and to a lesser degree The Last Rainforest, another Ferngully, another Tim Curry vehicle. We were
Yes.
really into that sort of Renaissance fair proto Lord of the Rings, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the kind of shit I grew up on because I was
Hmm.
born in 84. And
Okay.
so it was Legend and Labyrinth and The Dark Crystal and A Never-Ending Story.
Yes. Do you know,
Oh,
I didn't see
shit.
Labyrinth until I was much older. I don't know why. It just wasn't part of my rotation, I guess, as a kid.
Yeah,
Maybe my sisters saw it, and since it wasn't something that they were picking regularly, it just sort of skipped by.
right.
But what a fever dream. And I feel like I mean and Willow was another really, really great example of
That
that
one
as well.
too. Yes.
Yes. And I had not that I knew what it was, but I had the Dungeons and Dragons source book for the Willow role-playing game, so which
Oh,
had like all of the backstory that never made it onto the screen because you have to know all this stuff when you play the game. Like there are
right.
druids and all like and I remember being captivated, if a little overwhelmed by the sort of got me interested in like a larger form of movie. Like I wanted to know more and everything.
Yeah, I've always been about the high fantasy. And then
Hmm.
when I got a little older and I could rent my own movies, because my family is not into horror.
Okay.
It's just me. So when I was a little bit older and I could go to Blockbuster and rent the tapes on my own dime, that's when I got into all the horror movies. But I've always been into monsters. They're just my favorite.
Now, your name obviously is a pun on Chupacabra as
Yeah.
well, which has a not just a historical and a cryptid relationship, but also a cultural one. Could you explain your relationship to that one?
Yeah, that the phenomenon of the chupacabra started in Puerto Rico, and I'm not Puerto Rican, I'm Mexican American,
Okay.
but it's it started there. In the I think I read when I was doing my little fact checks, I think it started in like 95 is when that lore began. And
There
then
is a version of a Mexican chupacabra, isn't there? Isn't there something that's very
yeah,
similar?
yes,
Okay.
I think they have the same lore in Mexico too. There's been supposed sightings and evidence of chupacabra activity in lots of places.
What does it traditionally look like? A hound, right?
A couple different descriptions have been recorded. A lot of times it looks like a dog, a hairless dog,
Okay.
and other times, like the other version of it is more reptilian and has like
Oh,
these long spines coming out of its back, and it kind of looks like a lizard, much
interesting.
lizard-like.
Like I never remember how to pronounce it. Chimera, I believe is. It's spelled chimera, but I believe that there's a
Yeah,
hard K. Yeah.
it's chimera, or
Chimera? Okay, that would
I
probably
think
be it.
that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, the Jersey Devil, I guess, is more of a humanoid Bigfoot type, I think. But I remember first hearing about that actually through the X-Files. I don't think I ever heard of it until that.
Oh yes. Yeah, they like their cryptid stuff on X-Files.
Well, it's public domain, which is very helpful.
Yeah.
And also, since it is cultural and it is regional, it allows for a lot of travel and investigation. So
Yeah.
why not? Yeah. I grew up in a haunted house. Did you grow up in a haunted house?
No, I did not.
You just had just a natural inclination into the dark arts.
Yes, I've always been into villains and monsters. They've always been so fascinating to me, much more
Hmm.
than the heroes, which usually get the lead parts in these stories.
I don't know why that is exactly. I mean, obviously there's the whole concept of the othering as the villain and as marginalized people,
Yeah.
we tend to, look to them, which is interesting because the hero is supposed to often be the everyman, which is supposed to be the aspiration. It's supposed to be us as the protagonist.
Yeah.
But I guess when you feel that you are being othered and marginalized and villainized, you see their point just a little bit better. You're like, you know what? Evil Queen, maybe you have a point. Bavmorda, maybe you have a point.
They become more relatable. Absolutely.
And it's complicated, and complications are fun. The hero's journey is sort of rote and commonplace. It's sort of either Herculean, where what he's has destiny and his godlike abilities thrust upon him by virtue of him just being born that way,
Yeah.
or I don't know, something like who's another good example, like King Arthur, where it's still a mortal situation, but he has to struggle to become, I don't know, a colonizer, I guess.
Right? Just not just not as relatable for a lot of people, especially like weird kids like us that didn't
Yeah.
feel like we knew what our place was. At least I didn't for a lot.
Well, where did you grow up?
Phoenix. I'm from
Phoenix.
Arizona originally.
Well, there you have it. We were recently at the Arizona Burlesque Festival,
Yes,
so that was a little bit of a homecoming for you.
it was. It was my first time at that festival. Not my first time performing in Arizona. I love working with those babes. But it was my first time at that festival. Was it yours?
That festival, yes. Yeah, I was supposed to be there in, oh gosh, 2020, sorry, 2019, I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
And then circumstances, what they were, I couldn't make it, and then it was off for several years. So I was glad to finally get my shot.
Yeah, me
So
too. I was so glad when I saw it was coming back.
yeah, it was pretty great. What was the move from Phoenix to Southern California? necessitating? Was that school? Was that just let me get out of here?
It was both. It was like, I gotta go. And also, it was 2008 when I moved from Phoenix I went to LA actually before I came down here to San Diego, and it was to go to makeup school. I do
Oh, okay.
effects makeup.
Hmm.
I still do that for my job. A little different capacity now because I don't do so much makeup application, but
Okay.
I'm an effects technician, and I make molds and I do castings and painting and like patching and finishing kind of work at my job.
Wow. Would that mean things like latex and I guess like what do you call those? Like applicate the what do you
Mostly
call it?
we work mostly with silicones, plastics,
Okay.
resins, and urethane.
Gotcha. So what is that called when you put on a prosthetic? That's
Yes.
the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Are you working largely with synthetic materials, rather than trying to recreate, the planes of one's face specifically, just with makeup?
Well, we do a couple different things. Like what you were just referencing, the prosthetic appliances. We do make
Hmm.
those.
Hmm.
We make silicone prosthetic appliances, and we also make medical trainers that are semi-realistic. So we make body parts using silicones and mostly silicone and plastic, like
Hmm.
flesh, tissues, like soft tissues and bones. That's what we use to make those. And our molds are a lot of them are made out of plastic, silicone, and fiberglass.
Fiberglass. Okay.
Yeah.
You're largely working on materials for medical students and medical application for how things, I guess, anatomically work when
Yeah.
people are doing surgeries and things like that.
Yeah, all our stuff is it's semi-realistic. It's anatomically correct enough so that if you're
Aren't we all?
right, you're training to be a surgeon, we have different types of trainers for you to practice doing various medical procedures on something that looks like a body and it feels like a body, but it's not
Hmm.
live tissue.
I mean, this is a practical use of materials as opposed to doing something that I guess is just strictly computer based or that AI might actually take over. So I guess it's nice to know that the medical field is still leaning on physical elements to do training and things like that.
Yes, I think it's so important to have a hands-on experience rather than a digital one. In the,
What is your either favorite or what are you most known for in your business of that you are your specialty and what you create?
we have all these different trainers, right? But the most popular items, there's one called a cut suit that is actually like it's designed to be worn on an actual person. But when they're doing these procedures, like they're not coming into physical contact with like the human that's wearing this suit
Hmm.
because it's like as if you took all your organs out and set them on top of your chest.
Hmm.
It's kind of set up that way. Like there's a rib cage and all the organs go inside. And like there's this synthetic this silicone skin that goes over the top of it. So it looks like a person's
Hmm.
body, but that's all silicone inside of there and tubing, like we put tubes through the organs as well. So we can pump
Okay.
artificial blood through there and it looks like the
Wow.
organs are bleeding.
This is a very elaborate, and I'm so glad that it exists. But again, I never really thought of a practical application. I was only thinking like in a Hollywood format. But
Yeah,
I guess it would make sense because you would also have people like you would want that realism, so they probably go to actual medical professionals or actual like the equipment makers like you to replicate those for film and television, I guess.
totally. Yeah, I didn't realize that this industry existed either when I first went to makeup school because I wanted to work in the film industry. Um,
Mm,
and I didn't realize that there was a whole field for this type of work where you could still do
So you
it.
fell into this?
I kind of did. When I went to makeup school, it was 2008, and we were right in the middle of a recession. It was a really unfortunate time to be in LA for me because it was very hard to get work in the film industry, which is what I wanted to do. So I ended up only being in LA for 2 years, and I moved down to San Diego. It just kind of happened that way because a friend, like I was really struggling bad, and a friend called me and said that she needed a roommate because hers was moving out. And I said, it's not going well out here. I'm just gonna see what happens down there in San Diego. And I started working at the Haunted Hotel as a makeup artist for the Haunt actors.
Nice.
And I met somebody, another artist who put me in contact with somebody at my company now.
Hmm.
And that had to be 2011. Yeah. And
Hmm.
I've been there ever since.
Has it changed drastically in theory or in application from when you first started? Or like, is there new techniques that come into play, or is it roughly you're still working with roughly the same materials?
A lot of the same materials, but we've improved our products over time. We've found,
Sure.
newer and better ways to make things, make them look better, make them look more realistic.
Is there like a time where you walk into locations and where in your company's offices or studios or wherever, and it just looks like a bunch of body parts hanging out?
It always does, yeah. There's always just body parts on tables and on shelves everywhere you look.
And I would assume for mostly it looks just bloodless because everything's supposed to stay on the inside
Yeah.
until you use it for the reason. So does it look, I guess, how do you finish off? Is it just like slabs of of uh of plastic and molding and things like that?
Well, it's funny.
Torsos?
Yes. It's funny too because before all these parts get assembled into like what they're sold as, there'll be just like piles of livers and piles of spleens and intestines, like a drawer full of intestines. It's kind of hilarious. We make phalluses, so there'll be
Oh,
like buckets of dicks sitting.
yeah.
It's
This is
pretty.
like all the colors of the rainbow and
Yes, there's not we don't have a wide range of skin tones, but we do have three.
okay. As that is one of the softer elements of some people's anatomy.
Yeah,
What is that usually made out of?
it's just silicone.
The silicone.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
solid silicone.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's what like a real doll is, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that typically like, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's pretty, yeah. We pretty much use the same materials as Real Doll does, the same platinum silicone, the same plastics for like the
okay.
skeleton, whatever they use to make their eyes. I don't make the eyes, but I think it's plastic and resin.
Sure. Well, I mean, obviously we have there are people who have I don't know what you call them. I prosthetics, yes, but like I don't want to say fake because fake or artificial sounds wrong. But that might be just really what they are. But people who have glass eyes or things that like whatever the current technology is behind that, I would imagine would be usable in your practice. Sure.
Yeah, I'd imagine like those high-end like prosthetic eyes for
Hmm.
that people wear are
Hmm.
made out of similar
But
materials, but safe to be human
but
born.
right. Well, your work is more fleshy and more vulnerable than honestly most prosthetics that are probably used for people who either have lost limbs or need like generally speaking, those replacements are going to be a little bit more durable. So,
Oh yeah.
but I'm sure there's some crossover in advancements in terms of materials. Wow. I have to say, I think you might be the first person who works with silicone bodies
Yeah.
in my experience. Awesome. How does that relate to you being a showgirl?
Well, I do use not so much my ability to make body parts. I mean, maybe somewhere
Sure.
down the line I can incorporate that. But I definitely use my makeup training, my effects training to do my th- various looks.
So what would you say is if you were going to sell Chica Cabra as a what you look like, how you present yourself for someone who is uninitiated, what generally is the vibe? What would someone expect to see you as on stage?
My stage look is pretty severely goth, I would call it.
Mm,
I use a lot of hard lines and dark colors. So much eyeliner.
so
So much
much,
eyeliner
you
and
know.
lipstick.
What what is your brand of choice in that regard?
I have been loving the Tarte, what is it called? The Sex Kitten. Um, it's like it's one of the felt tip eyeliners
Hmm.
by Tarte. That's been my favorite one. Where I do like my really extreme wing that I like to do. That's how I create that look.
Right, because your look, and I'm just pulling up on my phone a couple examples of you. You are dark, deadly, and dangerous, and there is a severity. The widow is that a widow's peak where you point forward? It's sort of
Yeah.
like that.
My
Yeah,
my bangs that
your bangs. It's like a bang exclamation point. It
Why?
has like
Yeah.
that falcon beak situation,
Yes.
which is so. Which is, of course, it's meant to look like bangs. It's not meant to look like that's the part of your hair. It's not meant to be like that's coming out of your scalp per se, as opposed to like Lily Munster. Like that is sort of like a that's meant to look like the top of her hair.
Yeah.
Those are actually over.
Yeah.
Um, I assume that's a piece.
It's a piece. I'm all about a hair piece and a wig.
It's very believable. Is it just clipped in?
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
I have a clip-in bang that's that shape, and I have a wig that has the bangs like they're part of the wig.
That like this one right here, the promo shot of you from the Arizona
Yes.
Festival. That's the
Yeah,
wig.
yeah, yeah, that's the wig.
Yeah. Audience at home, I'll put it in the carousel on Instagram. This is just a great shot. This sort of tells you everything, doesn't it? You've got the gauzy robe or cover up that has the bats.
Yes, my
You got the choker, like I don't. That's not even red at this point. That's like hell, like cherry hellfire purple.
yeah, it's like dark blood.
Yes, yes. It's hard to do because I remember and and you have darkness on your shoulder.
I do.
You
I
do.
have a
You have quite a few
legend. I
tattoos.
have a legend slash labyrinth sleeve.
Who else makes appearances on your arm?
I've got I have Jareth from Labyrinth and
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Connelly. I'm forgetting her character's name. I'm having a
Sarah.
brain lapse. There you go. And
Yeah, I don't know. I just pulled that out real quick,
that
I
was
have to
so
tell you.
good. That was so fast.
Thank you.
And then upper arm, I have Darkness and Lily from Legend and one of the unicorns.
Uh, I'm just going through some of your looks. So as essentially you're a pumpkin queen. This is as of the time of we're recording this, and this will actually come out a little bit after Halloween. This seems to be season of your witch
It
right
is.
here.
It's my favorite time. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Is this essentially uh adult dress up of a version of what you were also interested in as a young person, as a child?
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
love that I get to do like most all of my monster stuff is during this month, and it's my busiest month, and I love that.
It's got to be uh interesting to sort of create these original characters that are also influenced by, we have our style icons, which also have 50s references. So even like Elvira, we would associate with like the 80s,
Yeah.
a lot of her references are decades earlier.
Oh yeah.
Um, and it's really sort of fascinating to think that we have so many standards that have lasted more than a century, essentially, that we just sort of remix over and over again.
Yes, they stand the test
Um,
of time. They're too fabulous to go
and
away.
well, did you have like an affinity for, your who was Vampira
Yes,
and Elvira and
Queen.
the Dark Ladies?
Oh yeah, all those babes. Like you just said, Lily, Munster,
Hmm.
Vampira, Elvira, and
Who's another Morticia?
Morticia.
These are icons. How ecumenical in are you as a consumer when it comes to when things are redone by, like major corporations? Like how are you feeling about like the new Wednesday? How do you feel about when it's not your version of what these iconic characters you grew up with are?
I'm
Are you forgiving?
I can be, but I'm also like kind of an asshole with stuff like that. I'm like, I'll give it a chance, but I'm probably gonna hate it, and I'm just gonna
Mm,
say that I hate it because I'm so partial to the shit that I grew up with, like all that 80s
sure.
shit. I'm so partial to
Well, I mean, I have to
it.
assume that Angelica Houston was a tough sell for people who loved Carolyn Jones,
Yeah.
but I can't think of anyone better suited than Angelica Houston.
Oh, truly,
uh,
truly, truly,
so it's sort of yeah.
absolutely.
Well, because also these versions, they change how camp they are or how seriously they play them too. I think my issue with the Wednesday series is I don't know what it's trying to be, personally.
I
I don't know if
figured
it's
it
meant
out.
to be fun.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. It's like, how do I how do I read this? What am I supposed to
Mm.
get from this? Not a big fan.
I didn't understand the school thing too, because like we already have Harry Potter, and I understand that, if we can replace Harry Potter, all the better, great, cool. But the nature of sort of doing another supernatural school when we have, the Monster High and we have the I don't know if you remember the cartoon, Saturday morning cartoons where they were all monsters in school. Um, I forget what it was called. Um,
I'm trying to think right now.
I distinctly remember like a Frankenstein's monster sort of like football guy, and then there was the mummy. Oh, now I'm gonna have to Google it.
That
But we
sounds
sort of
so
have the sort of
familiar. Oh
yeah,
my God.
right.
And I was such a
Uh,
cartoon kid.
in high school, and I'm remembering like the Burger King toys.
Oh,
Monster High, was that it? That can't be as simple as that. No, because that's Monster High is like the Bratz doll
yeah.
kind of. Yeah, what am I thinking of? From the 90s, maybe?
Yeah, maybe it was 90s, not 80s.
Uh, Gravedale High. Nope, that's not it, but that's interesting. Oh, Odd Real Monsters, that's a good example. That's not what I'm thinking of, but that also is a very good
So cute though. All real monsters. Oh, Nickelodeon.
I'm trying to find, I know it didn't live in my head.
No, that sounds
What
familiar. You're not making that up. That's a real thing. I just don't know what that's called.
is people in the audience, I hope you're yelling it at me. Not that it helps me.
I do that shit every time.
See, I'm seeing photos of things that also look familiar, but it's not quite the
It's not it.
cartoon style. No.
I
That's
knew that
oh,
was a thing.
see, we have a collider list that's telling me the best monster cartoon shows. Okay. Let's see. Monsters in my pocket. I remember Monster in my pocket. I had the actual little rubber guys. I don't know if you remember them.
That sounds
They
familiar
were
too.
just
I don't think I had the toy.
they were like this big. They were like an inch and a half big, and they were all different colors, usually in like greens or yellows, or they were all almost like they looked almost like erasers, but they weren't that material.
Yeah, the soft
Yeah,
and
and
ones.
and it was one of those things where, of course, you had to like it tied the merchandise in with the show, so it was like it was naturally already, they learned from Lucasfilms. Uh,
Marketing.
Gravedale High. This looks like it. Okay. Perhaps you remember the silly series under the name Rick Moranis in Gravedale High. It ran for just 13 episodes.
Oh shit.
Well, no wonder I barely remember it. Gravedale High. Okay, but it still didn't look like. Maybe I was looking at fan art. Let me see.
Does it say
This
what
is
it's on?
fascinating for the audience at home. Hmm?
They love it. They fucking love
They
it.
do. They know what it is. They know what it's about.
Listen to
Uh, all right. Okay. Yeah. All right. I hang on, where are you? It's looking a little bit like that. I'm showing you. I'm trying to show you the as I
I'm
zoom
I'm
in.
seeing that and it does look familiar to me. I gotta say.
All right. It's there. You know what it is? Is this ghost character in the sweater vest is what I most remember because I had
I
a
see her vest floating there.
oh, and the mummy girl, because she was sort of. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't really see it, and the audience at home can't see it at all. But that's not important. This mummy girl, because she was chubby. And I remember and she has like the pigtails coming out, and or sort of like this Judy Jetson outfit.
Yeah.
And I remember being sort of like kind of impressed that they had. I guess I mean not that I had the wherewithal, but a plus size uh sort of mummy character for some reason. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm glad that we had that moment together where
Too.
hey, this is Viktor Devonne. I know it's difficult to strategize how to spend money and where that money should be going, and I thank the folks who have found some way to support financially this podcast. Massive love to the people on patreon.com/WeBurlesque. Thank you very much to Courtney Jones, Dottie Rebel, Charlotte Strudel, Paris Stilton, Luna DeLay, Goosey Gander, Roxy Reverie, Faye Havoc, Tiffany Lane, Madam E, iRed, Shimmy LaRue, Curly Bright, Oliver Swisky, Sebastian Crane, Alex Collode, Bo Britches, and Stormageddon. Love you very, 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 very much. If you would like to support the podcast, you can go to patreon.com/WeBurlesque, and I promise you those dollar bills go to servers, to advertising, to actual real costs, including WordPress, GoDaddy, and people who need my money. So thank you very, very much for help supporting the podcast, and thank you for amplifying the voices of those upon it. Love you very much. Hey, it's Victor, and I love socks. I really do. I wear them every day and frequently on stage. And if you know me, they don't usually match. And that's for lots of reasons, not the least of which is I find life to be too short. And I have too many pairs of socks. And if I wore socks that only matched each other, I wouldn't get to all of them in the time I need them to be seen. You understand. And there's a company called Foot Clothes, and they get me. They have high quality, gorgeous, high pigment, interesting designs. They very easily don't match each other when I wear two different pairs of socks because they're so different looking. And so that's what I want. That's what I need. That's what I live for. So I encourage you to go to footclothes.com, go to their Instagram, check out their catalog. When you buy, and you will, please type in VIKTORDEVONNE all together. That's my name, Viktor Devonne. And you'll get 10% off your order. And you can do that however many times you order, because you deserve it. And take some photos and let me know. But it's not for a foot thing. I mean, you can make it a foot thing if you want to, but that's not really my vibe. But, you know, do you. Okay, bye.
Like we were gonna try to remember what the fuck this show was and kind of
That's
figure it
right.
out.
You know. Okay, Scooby-Doo, Beetlejuice. Okay, so are you a Beetlejuice person?
I love the original Beetlejuice.
The film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember the cartoon too. That cartoon.
I do remember. I liked.
Fun cartoon.
I mean, I love the film. The film is one of my. It is legitimately one of my favorite films, actually, as a film. I think it is really well done.
Yeah,
Um,
I love that movie.
I enjoyed watching the second one. I don't know when I will watch it again. Possibly if I'm having a conversation with someone and they said, "Oh, I've never seen it." Maybe I'll watch it with them. But I don't know when I will voluntarily immediately go and watch it. But the original, I will watch all the time. Sure. So we'll see.
I feel the same
But
way about those, about both of those that you just said.
yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Uh, but to that end, I did like the remake of Ghostbusters. I did enjoy the all-female cast version of that. But I didn't grow up with Ghostbusters as sacred territory, the film. The original, I didn't grow up
Yeah.
with that as sacred to me. So I was already a little bit more amenable to that.
Ghostbusters wasn't a huge deal to me. It was kind of like an auxiliary movie where there were monsters.
Right, right.
The first
But
one,
it's still
I don't even remember the second one.
it's the one with everyone remembers the Statue of Liberty dancing. It's basically it's I think it's roughly the same. It's like if it's not broke, let's just do it all over again.
Right?
But I remember the cartoon
Yeah.
being substantial because that was also heavily marketed in the form of action figures. And so therefore, do you know what I had? Toxic Avenger action figures. And I never saw that film, the original. I mean, I've seen it since. But as a child, I never watched it. Why was that marketed to children?
You know what? That is fucking hilarious because yeah, the Toxic Avenger toys crack me up because I don't think any children that were of the age to have those toys watched that movie. That is not a children's
No,
movie. That
no,
was
Toxie.
a
I mean, I think
film.
there was a cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, there was.
Yeah.
But the
But
movie, The Toxic Avenger, that should never be watched by a child. That's a trauma movie, and everybody who knows anything about trauma knows how fucked up those movies are.
traditionally, yes. Yeah. If you see that logo come up, you're like, okay, this is a specific situation.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel that we sort of retroactively say, oh, I never should have seen that growing up, or oh, I had no business watching that. And sure, there are certain things you probably had no business watching, depending on really what it is. But I think at a certain point, all of us have seen some scary movie or some fucked up situation, and it informed who we were, didn't ruin us.
Agreed. Agreed.
Because usually there was deceit and effort involved in getting to see it.
Yes.
You had to stay up late, or you had to hide it from their parents, or you had to have the on your remote the ability to change the channel really quick. So,
Yeah, you were either like
you know,
sneaking around when your parents were asleep to watch that shit, or like your older sibling or your cousin, or like you watched it with them and you weren't supposed to be. Yeah, there was like some shenanigans going on.
did you grow up, are you an only child? Did you grow up with siblings?
No, I have a younger sister. I'm the
Younger sister.
it's just us two, and I'm the older one.
Okay. How many years between you?
Four.
4 years.
Yeah.
Were you for whom she looked up to and took cues from, or did you want nothing to do with her, or vice versa?
So both. I didn't want nothing to do with her, especially when I was a teenager. I was such an angsty, moody, goth asshole. Everything she
Mm,
pissed me off. It doesn't matter what it was. But she like her taste in movies, like she'd watch the movies that I watched and listen to the music I was listening to, and it like pissed me off to no end when I was younger. But now we get along great because we like the same shit. We love
sure.
true crime, and we're both artists. She's like totally opposite spectrum. She's a painter, but an amazing painter, not a
Cool.
performer. But yeah, we get along amazing now.
Well, as someone who was largely interested in what would be considered an off-screen skill set, or not a, well, actually, no, it's on screen, but the construction of it is off screen. So working in special effects and working in things like that, while they would be seen on film or TV or on footage, your work would be off. How did you know you also were meant for an audience?
That part is kind of funny because I for the longest time I was totally comfortable and was just like convinced that I was always just going to be behind the scenes and backstage doing stuff. But I've been a fan of burlesque for decades. Like I went to my first show. I even took notes so I wouldn't forget the details of this. I went to my first show in 2003
Wow.
in Phoenix. And it was called Burlesque Fest. And I saw Catherine Delish and Kitty Crimson because they were the headline.
Wow.
So that was my introduction to live burlesque, and it was amazing, and I was hooked. But I was just a fan for like until I didn't take my first dance class until 2017 because I saw it was actually on Facebook on the San Diego Burlesque community page. There, an instructor, Valentina, was offering a class series where you got to be a zombie.
Mm.
And it was because of my interest in makeup and monsters. I was like, oh, I'll take the class series. Okay. I'll give that a try. And we got to perform as a group at the end of the class series, which was whatever, 8-10 weeks, something like that. And I got hooked on it that way. I was like, oh, I think I want to keep on doing this.
What do you think was, besides not necessarily knowing how to dance, and I'm not a dancer as a burlesquer, I know that you can actually do quite well in burlesque without actually properly knowing dance. But what was specifically, do you think, one of the largest hurdles? Was it just the physicality of being the star all of a sudden, or
Oh yeah, it was stage presence
stage presence?
because I'm naturally a shy, reserved person, and I wasn't comfortable being on stage at first. I still get uncomfortable, but I was very, very much uncomfortable being on stage at first, and I just for some reason pushed through it. I'm the most stubborn fucking person. I'm a Capricorn. I'm probably one of the most
My husband
people
is
you'll
a
talk to.
Capricorn.
Yeah? Oh, you know then.
Yeah. Yeah. Although Capricorns and Virgos are supposed to get along very, very well. Every time I've told somebody who has an astrological interest, when I've told them that I am one and he is the other, that's been a plus.
Yeah,
So,
it works out.
are you a December Capricorn or a January Capricorn?
January,
Him as well.
you
Yeah.
know then.
Yeah.
You know.
Although I always feel like I fail as a Virgo because I am supposed to be more organized than I really am. And I think once you start throwing in neurodivergence in with the best laid plans of the stars, then things may manifest differently. Uh, but I still want things a specific way, so sure. And I still am mad that things aren't organized when I fail to keep them so. So I have the desire, if not the actual doing. But
It's a lot of work staying organized. I'm an organized, disorganized person because I love for things
hmm,
to be organized, but it's a lot of damn work. It's a full-time job.
I feel like I have post-it notes and scraps of paper on all over my brain. And that is why I'm able to say something like, and you said, oh, Jennifer Connelly's character in Labyrinth, and it just happened to flutter by
Yeah, it
that
popped
there's a
right
scrap
out.
of paper that said Sarah. But ask me, like, I don't know, my husband's phone number off the top of my head, and I will probably get to it, but I have to dig through a bunch of that paper.
Oh man, I would have.
Because I remember the last four digits off the top of my head, but the rest of it is hidden underneath.
Yeah, I can totally relate.
As an artist, what do you think your favorite aspect is? Is it the construction of an act? Is it now getting in front of an audience? Is it costuming? What is your favorite part?
I like the process of creating a character to a song that I've
Mm,
that I've chosen. My stuff it's not always like this, but it usually starts with the music and I go from there. Um, but other times, like because I like to use pop culture references because I'm so into monsters and the horror genre.
Sure.
Sometimes it starts with the character and then I have to build from there, but a lot of times it does start with the music.
What type of music do you usually gravitate to?
I'm so all over the place with my music choices, but I've got psychobilly, like because I love the Cramps. They're one of my favorite bands. I have like 3 Cramps acts. I've got metal. I've got I have some pop songs because sometimes that just works with what I'm doing. I've got classic country. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'm really all over the place with my music choices. When I'm just listening to music on my own, I'm a big old metalhead, and that's what I
Okay.
usually go for. Oh, I also have like soul music and disco. It's all over the fucking place.
All over. I find it to be very useful, and I find music, particularly when it leans against what the presentation is on stage, sometimes to be the most satisfying. It's all very well to pick a song that's either, I don't know, ver- uh, let's use the example of Nerdlusk. So if you're playing a character or you're playing an archetype and you use a song that's actually from that media, okay, maybe. Um, but I'm much more interested and more excited if it's something that's more subversive than that. As an entertainer and as a producer. That's more interesting to me. And I don't mind a nod, like absolutely. Like my biggest hit, quote unquote, burlesque act is a song about uh chat room sex, basically, and it's an act in front of a computer with a webcam. So yes, I will play the obvious as necessary. Um, but I also really enjoy I don't know, I like playing against type in a lot of stuff. And I also really love I love a pretty lady in a gown and glove doing fun shit to harder music or I think that's fun too. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like the opposite ideas playing against each other makes for like a really dynamic, interesting performance.
Yeah, I think they're sometimes harder to chew because an audience isn't necessarily expecting that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess that's one reason that something like rockabilly is so successful is because it does have that harder edge instrumentation, but it's so familiar with the pinup aesthetic, or it's so familiar with a lot of the cues that the visual is giving.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
they go hand in hand so well.
And that also has sort of like this sort of monster movie 1950s, 60s aspect too.
Yeah.
So I always think of the Blob and how the theme music for that is like the jauntiest, like da 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 da
It's all
da
upbeat and
da da
happy.
da 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 da. Beware of the blob. Um, I like that. I think that's fun.
Yeah, I like to put my monster stuff to like goofy music. My Michael Myers is too. I'm Your Boogeyman by Casey and the Sunshine Band. It's
Excellent.
super silly. And I do a creature.
But see, there's playing and see, I love that though, because it juxtaposes the severity of what we expect from Michael Myers, and it gives you. I like that. I like that a lot.
It
So
it just makes it more fun. And my creature
yeah,
act is to Dio's Holy Diver, and that's just as silly, maybe more.
is this Black Lagoon?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've seen footage of this. I don't know if I've seen you dressed as a creature from the Black Lagoon.
I think there are photos on my page. Oh,
There's got
to
to be.
see video, you got to go to my highlight stories. There's some video.
All right.
It's very, very silly. I like to be silly.
Silly is good. Well, and also because I guess that also is juxtaposed because you do have what would be presumed to be something of a severity presentation. You
Yeah.
are, dark and deadly
Yeah.
when you go out there. It's pinup, but it's like, I guess I keep going back to the word severe.
But make it pin up, but make it golf.
You look like you're gonna beat the shit out of me. I'm just saying. You look. What is that? High femme? And yet dominant. Oh, there you are. I see your creature head. And,
Here I am.
Are you looking for a show where the glamour is real and the stories are juicy? Learning about history is fascinating, especially when it's all glitter and glam.
Join May December and me, Iona Fortune, for Let's Burlesque, where every episode dives into the dazzling world of burlesque legends, scandals, and stardom.
You can find us twirling it on TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Facebook. And check out even more backstage goodies on our blog at letsburlesquepodcast.wordpress.com.
Because talking about burlesque history keeps the tassels spinning.
You can find Let's Burlesque Podcast wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. Papa Pasty.
Tonight on Murder, She Wrote.
Hooray!
Hey.
Yeah.
It's kind of Piper Laurie and Brenda Vaccaro at A Love Child.
Thank goodness.
I want to know her.
Nails. Yeah, where's her series? That's what
She's
I want.
fabulous.
The son is Joaquin Phoenix.
I know, isn't that nuts? And he is an ugly little kid. I'm sorry.
We're just like, hey, remember when this guy was in this obscure Broadway show in 1976?
Right? Look at him in those tight pants. Yum.
Well, because there's not
But
a
we
lot
do
really
get-
going on. It's
Yeah.
supposed I mean, unless you're listening to the dialogue, which frankly, audience at home, you can do without us. We're just
Yeah, do
learning
your own
about
work,
some of these
damn it.
backstory. But
Right.
Boswell put her up to it.
Yeah.
And then Trish had to be killed because she realized that Boswell didn't have her interests at heart because Teddy was the inheritor.
Yeah.
Playing her like a fiddle.
Oswald knew it, and Trish just gulped it down like one of those martinis,
And then tossed it onto the law.
and then lost her head. Poor Trish.
Trish loses her head. This is Viktor Devonne,
And this is Petra Fried
and this is Tonight.
on Murder, She Wrote.
What is the so I've only actually visited San Diego just once so far. I did a show with Winter Sinclair.
Oh, you got to
What
come back.
is the I know, trust me, and I was supposed to be there last August, but I got sick.
Oh,
I was so disappointed. Actually, we were supposed to be in, I think, the same show.
oh.
Yeah, we were supposed to be in Summer Spectacle together in August. But yeah, it happens. And no one's more mad at missing a show than me. I hate it. I fucking hate it.
It's awful.
But
I canceled my first show this year because I pulled my hamstring.
Ooh.
My first show of October, I was supposed to perform that creature act with Peep Show at the Doll Hut, and
Uh-huh.
I had to cancel because my hamstring was fucked. I can't
No.
dance on this leg. It was awful.
Did you just lie down convincingly? Just
I should
like
I
a
should have
flopping
just
mermaid?
laid on the floor. And
You're out of water. Come on. It
flailed
makes
around.
perfect sense. So what is the San Diego burlesque scene like? Is it more classic? Is it more horror? Is it more what's the vibe?
So there's a few of us babes that lean into the creep. We live that
Mhm.
life. But it's pretty eclectic though. We've got a lot of neo, and some neoclassic too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd say
You seem to
largely
blend.
neo.
You love some fringe and you love a panel skirt, but you also love to do it too. Weird shit.
Yeah. Oh, I love fringe. Love me some fringe. I might love it too much, but
I mean,
it
it's
really
a
depends.
problem. This is actually an intervention. It's actually what this is. Are you someone who constructs your own materials?
Partially. I
Hmm.
I don't usually make like my base pieces from scratch. I'll
Hmm.
usually just like buy those already made and embellish. But I'm getting better with my sewing, to be
Nice. Are
honest.
you hand or machine?
Both. I can do a little bit of both. And I am definitely getting better on the machine, and it opened up a lot of doors.
Nice. I feel like I wasted so much time as a child, and now I don't know if I have the patience to learn. But I would like to be able to sew more efficiently. I can hand stitch,
Yeah.
but that only gets you so far. Like I can do buttons and I can sew tears in a pant or what have you like that. And also I have to tell you, as a hobo clown, I can lean real easy into it not being perfectly finished.
Because
Um,
that's part of the aesthetic, right?
it's kind of part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's why I do it, but it's very helpful that that's what I can do
Mhm.
because then I can actually use thread that doesn't match, or I
Yeah.
can go in a different. I want it to look unfinished. I want it to look fixed. So patches and things like that. But if I ever have to try to hide it, so if like my husband at one point there was some seam that had come undone on like the back of his jean. He's like, "Can you just sew that together?" I'm like, "Yes, but I have to do it from the inside because I can't promise that it'll look pretty. It will look like a horrible monster on the inside, but it will look great.
Hey, if it looks
It'll look
good on
right
the
afterwards."
outside, that's all that matters because nobody gonna see the inside.
Well, and that's the thing is if it was me, then I would just do that on the outside. That
Yeah.
would be the point. Yeah.
Yeah, being able to
But
use
I
a
wish I
machine
had.
is so it'll just make your life easier.
Yeah, that's probably true. Just the nature of like the concept of threading or what not threading a bobbin. I don't know. See, I don't even know. I should stop pretending like I know. It will happen maybe someday. You know what it was is I feel like I was such a zombie for lockdown and I was sort of insolent and cranky that there were people who are like, "See, the lockdown is a gift and this is when you can write Hamlet and you can like do like
Your
bake
memoirs?
bread." I'm like, yeah, and I was like stuck in my ways. I didn't even do digital shows the first like 8 months. And I was like, no, cranky, bad, no. And then I looked back and I said, oh, I had so much time I really should have dedicated to anything.
I don't know what I
We were traumatized.
It's very traumatizing where it's all still like I don't think we're recovered from it. But because I don't like ask me what I did that entire time. I don't know.
No,
I didn't learn how to
yeah.
speak a different language. What did I even do? I did zero digital shows. I didn't perform at all. And I felt
Mm,
lost when we came back, like when we started to come back.
sure.
I
Yeah.
felt lost. It was it was fucked up.
It was so weird because I had just moved from the East Coast. So the husband got the job in Southern California, which is why we're here in the first place. And so I did the back and forth for a while. I had a regular show in New York, and that show came to a timely end. It came to an on purpose end, January of 2020.
Mhm.
Um, and then, but by then I had already had like living stuff here. I started performing here, but then lockdown happened, everything reopened, and there was a new crop of people in New York that did not know. And that was very weird to me. Like suddenly there was this group of people that I had just left and that were suddenly doing like really great and cool things. And I was like, so I can't even like be nostalgic. Like
Oh,
I can't
wow.
even look back and say, look at what I'm missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was I'm happy in retrospect, so delighted and glad that there were people who found capability of becoming show people during that time. And I've gotten to know them since.
Okay.
But but it was so weird. It was so weird to sort of be like, where did all these people come from? Like,
Yeah, that had to be really strange.
and I didn't live there anymore, so why did it matter? I don't
But it
uh,
did.
yeah. It did. Well, because you can't. I mean, and I still love. I've been to New York since. I've performed in New York since. But it's a different world. It is a different world, and also like culturally and thematically, it all feels very different. I sort of feel like there was I don't know, a feeling of fight and when the first Trump election happened, at least for some of us, and sort of like, and now everything's just sort of feels a little less hopeful.
It does.
Maybe that's just
Feels like
perception.
there's so much fatigue and exhaustion that there's not as
Yeah,
fight in the
yeah.
collective us.
And I didn't like post on the Biden years either. Like it wasn't like I was super happy with everything going on then either.
Oh no.
But I mean, part of that is because, like once the mask has fallen and you know what this country is like, um, in a larger scale, because I knew what some of the country was like. I grew up, a sissy gay in Jersey, which is still pretty safe.
Yeah.
But I grew up, aware of the AIDS crisis, aware of Matthew Shepard, aware of, stuff. And but I also grew up with like intersections too. Like I grew up with like an immigration attorney mom and a very progressive minister father. So I already knew about like injustice and everything. So that wasn't the surprise. I guess I was sort of surprised at how gleeful and excited everyone was to be so mean.
Yeah.
Everyone's having such a great time just being a total asshole.
That's one of the grosser parts of all of it, I think.
Yeah. Hmm. How do you keep the fire alive? Do you meditate? Do you have self-care? Do you prepare in some capacity to go out there with your showgirl armor?
Oh geez, what do I do? I um I like to blow off steam by roller skating and
Oh, okay.
yeah, outside of dance, that's what I like to, do for my physical movement, get outside.
Nice.
Because if I'm not doing that, I'm usually hermiting and because my escape is horror movies. We spoke about this. That's like
Hmm.
that's how I disassociate. But it's funny too because I live in Ocean Beach, San Diego. I live 2 blocks from the beach, and I don't usually make it to the beach because a lot of times there's too many people down there, and
Mm,
I don't want to be down there. But I love going in the wintertime when it's quiet because it's not full of people. It's beautiful
hmm.
out there. So that's a good escape as well. But
Mm.
I've got my little ways.
What are your current as a horror film aficionado? Are there anything that's come out recently that you're like, wow, chef's kiss?
There's been some really good stuff that's come out lately. I haven't seen Weapons yet, but I keep hearing,
I really liked it. I liked
yeah,
it.
all I've heard is
I really
glowing
liked
reviews of Weapons, so I'm excited to watch that one. But the most recent, like the brand new movies that I thought were really nice were Sinners and Bring Her Back. Those are both really
I
good.
don't know if I know which is the Bring Her Back. Who stars in that?
Nobody whose name I even know. It was,
Okay,
but
that could be good.
it was directed and produced by the same brothers that did Talk to Me. Did you see Talk to Me about
Mm-mm.
the Hand of Destiny? That's a
The Philippo, is it
yeah,
Philippou brothers?
yeah. It's
Bring Her Back, Talk to Me.
same two
Okay.
brothers. They're Australian, I believe.
Yes, Adelaide. Oh, no, I don't know this. Step siblings who find themselves orphaned and placed in the middle of an occult ritual. See, I'm already on board. Occult ritual. Is it
Cool.
violent? Is it bloody?
Yes.
Okay. That just means I have to know that in advance. Um, I've gotten, I wouldn't say better, maybe desensitized. My interest in horror did not peak until, or did not hint really, I shouldn't say peak. I did not really show signs. I was afraid of a lot of things as a child, so I just did not want to deal with it. But Scream was a major transition because the concept of a slasher movie being funny was refreshing.
Yes.
Um,
I remember
and
first time.
yeah, and I saw that. I mean, I think yes, I saw Scream and I saw Scream 2 very soon after that because by then I was ready to go. And I really liked Scream 2, actually. That's my favorite of the franchise.
Oh.
Um, and high schoolers are a tough sell for me. I didn't like them in high school. I don't like them a lot now. So you have to like it has to be real. Like you have to give me Buffy or something like where I'm really engaged to really bother with high school shit. Maybe that's one reason that I would say also didn't appeal to me. Uh, like I'd rather give me Morticia and Gomez. Give me Grandmama. I don't give a fuck about these kids. Um,
And kids.
unless you're Christina Ricci. If you're gonna be Christina Ricci and Jimmy Workman, then maybe. Because you know what? I have to admit, I love Addams Family Values, and they are a huge chunk of that film.
I have such a
So,
crush on Christina Ricci. God damn.
I mean, I think she's a root for a lot of people.
Woo! Marry me.
Did you ever see The Opposite of Sex?
No.
It's early, maybe late 90s, I want to say. And it was like one of her first like traditional bad girl movies.
Okay.
Um, where she was really playing sort of like a sexually promiscuous Poison Ivy kind of situation. Like Drew Barrymore would have played that if it had been done a couple of years earlier.
Okay.
Um,
I'll have to check that
but
one out.
Lisa Kudrow is in that and a bunch of fun. It's I don't know actually. I'm curious how well it's aged, but it has some queer elements as well, and it's sort of its time probably. But
All right.
I remember really liking that. I remember liking that a lot.
I'll have to
Um, but yeah, I know. So I grew up with like Dracula, like, but even Dracula, it was like the Bela Lugosi Dracula. It was like Boris Karloff and Wolfman and Lon Chaney, and I liked Gothic horror. But it took me a lot. It took me, I think, until I realized how until I had to like pay bills and deal with people on like the outside world and realize how bad everything else is for me to go, oh, see, this isn't that bad. This isn't as bad as real life. See? Um,
really not.
but now we're in a really meta horror era where the metaphor is gone and everyone's just about trauma.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting. And I go back and forth on that.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like I'm for me personally, it's like I watch this shit to have fun and escape.
Right.
I can just watch the news if I want to actually be horrified by some shit. Like, let's not make it
Well,
real.
I wonder, I have to wonder if I'm sure there have been essays and think pieces and substacks and theses written about the reasons behind that cultural shift about the people who are creating it or what have you. But like the idea, like we were talking about this when we first started about seeing the villain as whether sympathetic or at the very least not atrocious.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just this the return of the anti-hero is sort of emerging and the more complex things are, it's no longer about, oh, this character is worried about nuclear war and there are zombies. No, it's just nuclear war.
Yes.
Oh, this is a metaphor about feminism in the 70s and about how a woman's personhood is related to them being a mother. So they have Satan's child. Oh, no, there's just bad people in the world. Like it's just it's just sort of how I feel.
There's just bad people and they're all in positions of power.
Yeah. Maybe it's just that I'm more aware of it and I engage as well. I don't know how involved either in advocacy or your other stuff like because it's hard but to be present and to just see injustice right now. I mean, obviously we see this with the ICE raids right now. We see this with just this sort of glee in uh in harsh times. But
The raids
yeah.
are like sending me right now like over a cliff. Like I have to
What was that?
the raids are like what's
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
over a
yeah,
cliff right now.
yeah.
I have to I have to consume social media in small doses
Hmm.
and just like can, figure out how much of my energy I can put out towards what ways like I feel like I can help in
Hmm.
in like little bits and pieces. But
Well, as show people, you're still doing it. I mean, you're somebody's escape in
thought of
theory.
it like that.
You're, yeah. As entertainers, we're well, and we toe that line too because we will have the pure like the statement pieces or the acts that are specifically meaningful and sort of self-righteous in their presentation to sort of let the audience know that we're all in the struggle together, and then we just have fun sometimes, and I think both are very important.
You're right. It's just as it's just as important to be able to like support escapism.
Yeah, we deserve that too. And if you're performing for a bunch of marginalized people, especially if there's intersections of them, by all means, let the let the fat queer people of color who are disabled and trans laugh. Let's give them a break.
They deserve they deserve joy.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
deserve all the joy.
yeah. We too. And I know that does make it difficult too to sort of protect ourselves in that regard as well.
You do have
As you're
to
walking around, is this
it's
say that again?
walking it back and forth from the kitchen.
You have a sprawling house. Is this just you or are you do you have a housemate?
It's my partner and I.
Your
We've got
partner.
we have a little two bedroom duplex here in Ocean
All
Beach.
right. Are you involved with a civilian or another entertainer?
He's a civilian.
Uh,
He works here at Cutwater.
oh, I heard recently about them. I heard those will
Bedroom.
fuck you up if you're not paying attention.
They will. They will. You gotta be careful with them. They're very strong.
But I've heard like and very easygoing drinking. Like they don't taste like you're drinking like a load of liquor at one point.
Some of them are very like you can taste how much liquor is in there. This one, the gin Collins is very mild. It's really tasty.
Mm,
It's just gin,
mm.
lemon juice, and soda and simple syrup.
Is that your drink of choice?
It's pretty delightful. Usually I do a vodka soda. Like
Okay.
keep it real
Yeah.
simple. What do you like?
Yeah.
Do you drink?
I'm a white wine drinker.
Okay.
I've massively reduced since the heydays of my youth.
Right.
But I had a good 20 years. But yeah, I still drink, but in not as frequently and not as much. And I am traditionally a Sauvignon Blanc Pinot Grigio kind of person. And I like a white wine. I like it cold. I don't mind ice. I want it cold though.
Cold.
And I mean I'll dip into other things. I don't mind a hard seltzer. I don't mind I'm not a beer person personally. I don't like the taste of it, but
I don't do as much beer anymore. I used to be like beer all the time. And when I
mm,
switched to seltzer, it's like it's a little bit less calories, like it's a little bit easier on my system.
I don't know what it is. I don't my I grew up my mom was a beer drinker and a wine drinker as well. But never like spirits. I didn't learn about the devils of vodka until my 20s. And then I made up for lost time by as when I started doing shows and I had to reel in, I switched just to straight up white wine. And I learned and I didn't always pay attention because I was busy getting drunk. That the times that I overshot the runway, so to speak, on those nights where I was like, okay, you shouldn't have done that. It was always when someone suggested, and I still said yes, to a shot or mixing or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm not for someone who Jaeger is the devil, but I shouldn't have it on top of two glasses of wine.
Oh no.
And yeah, no. What the hell did I know? I didn't have a sponsor.
Disaster.
Nobody was talking to me.
None of us knew when we were in our 20s. We were all doing that stupid shit.
Yeah. I mean that led into my 30s. But as a 42-year-old now who is, there not all of the memories are as crisp as they possibly could be. I'm like, okay, well,
We're
I'm sure I
almost
had
the
a
same
great time. I was delightful.
age. Weren't we all?
Yeah, we are very close in age. Yeah, I'm September 1st, 83.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be 42 January 10th.
Yep.
That's why we're
Time just
in
marches on.
cartoons.
Yes. Well, also I did, although that's always fuzzy too, because while I was the youngest for a very long period of my life, all of my sisters are Gen X. So my influences are still, so my husband is a couple of years older than I am, not many, but he's the age of one of my younger sisters.
Yeah.
And so we know the same shit because I was the one who followed my sisters around, absorbing what they absorbed, taking in their MTV, taking in their. I didn't always like it. Like I didn't get Pearl Jam or Nirvana at the time, but I was more interested in like Madonna, Janet Jackson, Annie Lennox. But
That shit's better than grunge anyway.
well, yeah, I mean, but that also is I'm an ecumenical when it comes to my divas. I do have my high priestess who is still Madonna, but the pop wars I don't quite get. I don't understand that culture of this Britney versus Christi. Well, God, now I'm dating myself even further. This current young pop star versus current young pop star. I don't get.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't have time for it.
I mean, and especially the ones that just seem like they're having fun. Like Sabrina Carpenter seems like a delight.
It's very fun.
I enjoy Chaperone a lot. I can't promise that she seems like a delight, but that's not my problem. So
Yeah, it's exactly. We don't have to worry about it. We're not being asked to hang out with her. So we don't have to worry
exactly,
about what she's like.
not really my issue. Uh, so yeah. So well, excellent. Well, I'm delighted that we had a little bit of time to chat. I know we just sort of just skimmed the very nature of the surface, but that just simply means two things potentially that yes, I have to head over to San Diego sooner than
Please
later,
come here.
which I will.
You
I
you
I
can even
I
stay at
I
my
will.
weird house if you want to.
If there's someone that I should talk to, you let me know. And
Oh
I'll
yeah.
see. I'll do my own investigations as well. And two, since you mentioned that music is a cornerstone, I do a little side project on the pod, which is called The Music That Made We, where I talk to nightlife people about 10 songs that make up part of the soundtrack of their lives, however you take that assignment. And I'd love to have you on that, and you can tell me about 10 songs that you've chosen, about where they fit in your storyline.
I would love to do that. Music
Think on
is
it. 10
really
is
important to
difficult,
me.
but think on it. Think on it.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, tell the folks how they can keep in touch with all of your goings on.
So I do the Instagram and the Facebook. I don't have the other ones, but
That's fine.
on Instagram, I am Chica Cabra, and that's one word, underscore burlesque monster. And that's what you were checking out. That's where all that.
Yes.
And on Facebook, so these are all separate words on Facebook. It's Chica Cabra burlesque monster. No one.
Easy enough. Easy enough. Do you have a current cryptid or a beloved cryptid in your that you hold dear to your heart? besides the chupacabra? Whether it's the oh God, I'm trying to remember what its name. It's like it looks like a Jawa. It has like a little. Oh no, I have to
You thinking of Mothman?
check. No, I'm not thinking of Mothman, but
That,
Mothman is also a classic.
that's the other one.
A Wendigo is also a classic.
Oh, the Wendigo is so creepy and I love it.
Uh, what is it called? What is it called? Hang on, I'm finding it because now I have to
Like
share
a little
them with
Jawa?
you.
Sounds adorable.
He looked I mean, just a little bit. The fuck is it called? It's the something monster. Uh, cryptid. Forest, big eyes. No, the Hopsville Goblins. Interesting. Flatwoods, the Flatwoods
The Woods
monster.
Monster. Oh, okay.
Looks a little bit like a Jawa or a nun.
The
Like a Princess Amidala nun. I'm not sure if it's meant to be a frill, like a Dilophosaurus,
yeah,
or if that's like because it looks just like a little bit like Sophia from the Golden Girls.
it really does in a fabulous
Just a little,
outfit, and I'm loving that fit. I've seen that.
little Puritan. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I think of often
those
when I think
collars,
of cryptid.
so cute.
Flatwood Monster, West Virginia. That's where they are
Oh, okay.
to be. I don't know if there's any current sightings, but so yes, you said who do you dig?
Oh, besides Chupacabra, because they're the cutest little vampires. But my other two favorites I think are Mothman because they're just hilarious, and Wendigo because they're so creepy. I love them.
Gosh, yeah. And that's a skinwalker, right?
It comes from
Don't they?
it's the same culture, like cultural lore.
It comes from yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I think they can shift. Can they transform? Or do they only ever appear as the deer beast?
I think that's the
I
only
have to
way
go
I've ever
looking.
seen them illustrated.
Skinwalker. Do. Oh, there is some Venn diagram involvement. Okay, interesting. Yeah, because that also involves sort of the werewolf uh situation as well. Hmm,
Yeah.
fascinating. The woods are terrifying.
They're so scary. Almost as scary as the ocean.
Well, that's another hell beast right there. That's a
Yeah.
portal.
Well,
That's several portals to the underworld. Yeah.
terrifying.
I mean, I guess we don't really think of them as cryptids, but I used to really be like fascinated with the concept of like sirens and mermaids and things like that too.
Yeah, I think those
Big,
count as cryptids.
I think so. Although sirens are fascinating because depending on the culture, sometimes they're like birds with human heads.
Oh,
Sometimes they're like sea scaly creatures like Shape of Water.
yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, there's all different kinds of like I like the differences in that. And I find and then sometimes they're aerial, and that's fun too. So
Cool.
all right. Well, I thank you for spending some time with me. Let's share a stage sometime soon. I'm glad that we had some opportunity to see each other both in Arizona and at the Ohio Festival this year.
Yes, that was so much
Let's
fun.
let's get back together sometime and uh you have a vodka soda and I'll have a glass of white wine.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, darling. Cheers to you. Um, and be well, continue to thrive, however that manifests.
You as well. Thanks, babe.
Thank you, my dear. Mwah.
Mwah.
And that's it. WEBurlesque the podcast, created, developed, and edited by Viktor Devonne. Podcast artwork by Logan Laveau. WEBurlesque the podcast cover art photography by Atticus Stevenson. Theme song, Anna 45 by This Way to the Egress, used with permission. All incidental music via Pixabay under the expectation of fair use. Please visit WeBurlesquePodcast.com for notes on this and every other episode. Follow WeBurlesque and Viktor Devonne on just about every platform, and support the podcast via patreon.com/WeBurlesque. Don't got the cash? Please follow, subscribe, and give 5 stars on every platform you can get your hands on. It really does help. All original material is owned by Viktor Devonne and White Elephant Burlesque Corporation. All other materials property of their respective copyright. No infringement, while likely, is intended. This episode, and all episodes thereafter, are in memory of Lucky Charming. Miss you, friend. And that's it.
Woohoo!